I have genuinely lost count how many times I've heard people talk about the best and latest methods, all the little tips and tricks and hacks that can optimize your processes and help you reach your goals quicker. Now, of course, it's not all bad. Using different methods and techniques can be very, very useful and effective if it's done correctly. They can help you push to higher levels, give you an edge on your competition. The problem lies is when people focus purely on their tips and tricks and they completely forget about the basics, the fundamentals, all these things that will help you build a strong foundation. And then when people completely focus on all the little tips and tricks and they haven't even come close to mastering the fundamentals, they have a sloppy foundation, and any progress that they make is just mad slow if they make any progress at all. And the reason for this is because they keep changing methods, and then they see something online or they read something in a book and they're thinking, oh yeah, it's this thing, dude, I can feel it, it's going to be this thing, this is the next best thing that's going to get me to reach my goal, this is going to be it, I'm telling you right now. But let me tell you, doing this is such a huge waste of time, because when you're constantly changing your approach and you don't even give one method a proper chance, you just give up after a couple of weeks, and then obviously, of course, you're just assuming the method or technique doesn't work, and then just to jump on to the next trend. And then when you're constantly changing strategies and changing methods, and of course you're not seeing results from this because you're not really giving any method a chance, and so when you're not seeing any results, it's going to be mentally exhausting, it's counterproductive, it's unmotivating, disheartening. It's just an all-round L, and you'll find you'll hit plateaus faster, and you'll find it way harder to advance onto any more advanced skills. The basics are the building blocks, they are the fundamentals, because without a solid foundation, any new advanced skills that you learn, they're going to be shaky at best. Then once you have built such a truly solid foundation that the basics just have become second nature, when you come to approaching learning new skills, it will come to you a lot more naturally, because you're not in your mind worried about the basic things. Oh my god, I completely forgot about this. Because it'll be second nature, it will just happen, you won't even think about it, and you're going to feel a lot more confident moving on to more advanced techniques, which is going to enable you to apply and test new methods. Then you can adapt and apply your skill in new and even more advanced ways, because once you master the basics, that's when you can really become creative with it. But even when you've reached a really high level of skill and competence, still sticking to the basics mainly and continuing to improve them further, that's going to help you way more than just doing all the little tips and tricks ever will. For example, in the realm of fitness, even the most advanced athletes still train the basics. Even like Olympians, even super advanced, like the best of the best, they still train the basics, because they know in the bottom of their heart that a strong foundation and a deep understanding of the basics, that trumps any of the flashy shortcuts and hacks that you'll ever learn at any point. And that is why they become the best at what they do, the best in the world, because they've dedicated months and years to mastering the basics. They only even think about moving on to more advanced stuff when they know the basics like the back of their hand. I'm going to give you guys another example. Let's say you're a man who wants to effectively be able to talk to women and using cheesy pickup lines, or you just found that one thing online that you've been trying out, or you're looking online and you found that one perfect thing to say that's going to make any girl completely just fall in love with you head over heels, and then you're taking your dating advice from some next guru who doesn't know what they're talking about. They're just using little shortcuts and hacks, how to do all these things and manipulate it. Blah, blah, blah. No, that's all fucked up, man. Don't worry about all the little tips, tricks and hacks and kind of shit like that, because if you're listening to that kind of advice, it's no wonder you still can't talk to women. Just learn basic social skills. You need to literally just get simply used to talking to women. Just a normal basic conversation. Just when you're out and about, when you're, if you see a stranger and you find cute or something, just going up and starting a simple conversation. Start by learning to listen to what they're saying to you and getting used to responding without the nerves completely taken over and just getting stuck in your own head. Then once you're used to that, that's when you can move on to more advanced stuff. All the other elements of speech, like tone, pitch, the speed of which you're speaking, all those things come secondary. And of course, even more complicated things like body language, face expressions, picking up on all the little tiny signals. It's like, it gets complicated. But it's all well and good spending weeks and months and years looking online how to do it properly, and like find the best thing to say, and this pickup line is going to help you do this. If you've never actually gone out and spoke to women, you know, just actually like a normal human, and just approached and said hello and started a normal conversation, then all the little hacks, tips and tricks and little things that you're learning online, all the little, you know, hidden secret techniques, they mean fuck all. Because if you can't just be a normal human and speak to someone like a normal human and have a normal conversation, it's never going to work. You can't expect yourself to go from never speaking to a woman but in your life to being able to converse like a pro, then to get the girl's number, then go on a date, build a romantic connection, you know, build a bit of sexual tension, just like you see the smooth guys do in the movies, you know, like the James Bonds, when you see the scene where the guy's sat at the bar and he's just got that serious look on his face where he's trying to smolder, and he just looks around and sees the fuck yeah. all the top players, all the guys that are good with women and they get what they want out of their dating lives, most of them were all shy and quiet once upon a time. They spent the time to learn how to speak to women, and they actually developed the skills they needed to achieve the results that they wanted from their dating lives. They just started with the basics, and then through years and years of practice, they eventually started to master them and become extremely proficient. And only then, once you've learnt the basics and you know them at the back of your hand, should you move on to the more advanced methods. So let's break this down even further. Whatever skill or goal you're aiming for, the pattern is still the same. It doesn't change. Whether it's business, in sports, personal development, or relationships, the path to success always starts with a very, very deep and strong understanding of the basics. Because the basics help you build that strong foundation, and from a strong foundation you can keep building and building and building. For entrepreneurs, it's knowing your market, understanding your product, and knowing how to properly convey your value to your customers or your target market. For athletes, it's about perfecting your form, being consistent in your training, and taking the time to fully understand your body. And for personal growth, it's about self-awareness, being disciplined with yourself, continuous learning, and of course, the most important thing that trumps everything all the time is taking action. Make sure you take action. And like I just said a minute ago, I'll repeat it again. The basics are your foundation. They are the core principles of which everything else is built upon. When you master the basics, that's when you've built a strong base from where you can grow exponentially, and the growth just becomes so much more easier. It's a lot more stable, quite literally, because without a solid foundation, things are a bit shaky and a bit crumbly. So please, guys, stop chasing the latest trends and hacks and focus on what really matters. And remember this, every expert was once a beginner who chose to focus on the basics until they became effortless. Whether it took weeks, months, years, sometimes even decades. But that's the secret to real progress. It's not glamorous, it's not flashy, but it's effective. It works, it's tested, it's proven. Stick to the basics and only progress further when the basics become super easy. That is how you're going to truly optimize your processes and achieve your goals quicker. Now, that brings us to the end of the video. I post a new video every single week. It's usually around Sunday, Monday time. My aim for 2024 is to reach 1,000 subscribers. So drop the channel a sub, like the video, and don't forget to press the bell notification icon button so you do not miss out on a video and lose out on the incredibly powerful knowledge I'll be giving you guys to help you level up in your own life. Now guys, it's time to go and put the work in. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.